Business Now is brought to you by Nextel, how business gets done, and Citibank.
This is a time of somber soul-searching in corporate America, a time of corporate corruption and scandals, accounting fraud, bankruptcies, and apparent greed. As a result, new laws, regulations, and tighter controls are being put into place by a myriad of federal agencies. But this begs the question, can these government mandates stop greed and the moral lapses that cause this situation?
Enron, WorldCom, Arthur Andersen, Tyco, Imclone, Global Crossing, Merrill Lynch, and the list goes on. Public and private companies disgraced by scandal, wrongdoing, or bankruptcy. What's gone wrong in corporate America?
I do think greed has come into play. If you pick up the Wall Street Journal today, there are headlines that certainly suggest that greed has come into play.
Dean Scott Corer is an optimist, but he says intense competition and a frenetic marketplace are driving some executives to delusions of grandeur.
When we talk about ethics and the moral grounding of a firm, how do we embrace good corporate citizenship? How do we ensure that our employees understand more than just issues of compliance, but how do I maintain assurance that the people within the organization that we lead, the organizations that we lead, are in fact engaging in doing things the right way?
At the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business, ethics are taught throughout the school's curriculum. And there are groups like this one, which offer fellow CEOs encouragement and accountability. Cora believes CEO advisory groups can be very valuable. These men are members of C12, a Tampa, Florida-based organization. It's designed by business owners for business owners and puts a heavy emphasis on ethics and moral principles.
The ethical dilemmas, the ethical lapses in the illegal activities that we've seen, I see those as the inevitable result of our cultural effort to remove God from our public life.
Buck Jacobs is a highly successful businessman who founded the C12 Group in 1992. This is one of 27 such groups nationwide. Christian businessmen and women who regularly schedule one day a month to discuss business practices and hold one another morally accountable.
All faiths require that the followers of that faith live a consistent life and be the same person in their business dealings as they are in their religious dealings. C12 simply represents a coherent approach to life that's based on those kinds of values that will ultimately lead to healthy relationships that are applicable whether we're talking about business, politics, family, neighborhoods, nationally.
David Dunkel, who's been a C12 member for 6 years, heads the public company K-Force. The specialty staffing firm employs thousands and had revenue of nearly $650 million in the last fiscal year.
It's been a great group for advice and wisdom, and also to hold me accountable and to challenge me to do all the things that I can do to use the business that God has chosen me to lead for His purpose.
For CEOs of public companies who have legitimate concerns about disclosure, Dunkel offers this.
For those that are considering joining, that are running public companies and may feel conflicted about obligations that they may have running public companies, I can tell you that there is absolutely no difference. That the barriers are really barriers that we create in our own minds.
At first, one day a month away from the business seems like a huge sacrifice for busy CEOs. But C12 members have developed a different perspective on their time.
With C12, being out one day a month allows me to see that I can be strategic, I can plan for tomorrow. I don't have to be so involved. I can delegate and let others be responsible for a lot of that day to day.
Another benefit is financial.
C12 isn't cheap, but it's probably the best financial investment I ever make. For instance, I just attended a recent meeting, and in one session in the morning, I probably have saved myself $50,000, which repays me for 10 years of C12 attendance.
It's lonely at the top for CEOs, and groups like C12 have much to offer.
For me to take one day to be able to be in the company of businessmen that are there with one intent purpose, and that is to help me and to assist me and give ideas and thoughts and and out of their care, that's what they want to do.
The discipline to be away from their business, but focused on their business once a month with peers who are like-minded. So they're not just concerned about each other's bottom line, they're concerned about the whole man or the whole woman.
We're as passionate about developing our businesses to being viable, vital, vibrant businesses that are wonderful examples of best practices and world-class operations as any business organization that you would ever find. 100 years from now, it's not going to make any difference how well we lawyered or how well we sold insurance or in the pure essence of quality, but it will make a difference how many people were touched and who we touched and how they were touched with the love of God in Christ.
I'm Len Dybert, Business Now.
In his novel, The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoevsky wrote, "Without God, everything is permissible. Crime is inevitable."